All right, let's be real for a second. We've all sat through training that felt, well, like a complete waste of time. But what if there was a secret code to designing learning that actually sticks? Today, we're going to crack that code. We're going to figure out how to build for the adult brain, not against it.
So why is that? You know the feeling, right? You finish a course, you click that little X to close the window, and then poof, the information just evaporates. It's incredibly frustrating for us as learners, and honestly, it's a huge waste of resources for the people creating these things.
Now, here's the wild part. The difference between a course you forget instantly and one that sticks with you for years, it's usually not the content. It's all about the delivery. The whole secret is understanding how the adult brain is uniquely wired to learn. And there's a key for that lock. It's a framework called andragogy. And it's what flips that switch from a frustrated learner to a totally engaged brain. So where did this secret code come from? Well, let me introduce you to Malcolm Knowles. This guy was a pioneer in education who basically wrote the operating manual for the adult brain. He developed this really powerful framework built on 6 core principles that explain how adults actually learn. And here they are, the 6 pillars that hold everything up. First, we have the need to know. That's the big why. Then, learner's self-concept, respecting that adults need to be in the driver's seat. Third is the role of prior experience, using all the knowledge they walk in the door with. Fourth, readiness to learn, which is all about real-world application. Fifth, the orientation to learning, solving problems, not just memorizing stuff. And finally, number 6, intrinsic motivation, tapping into that powerful internal drive. Okay, let's dig into those first 3. Number 1, adults absolutely have to know what's in it for me. If they can't see the benefit, they will tune out, like immediately. Next, they need to feel in control. You can't just spoon-feed them information. You've got to give them the steering wheel. And finally, and this one is so important, remember that every single adult brings a lifetime of experience with them. They are not blank slates. That experience is the foundation you have to build on. Okay, so we've got the adult learner's mindset, but now for the million-dollar question, how do we actually make the learning, sticky? How do we get that new information out of short-term memory and lock it into long-term usable knowledge? Well, the next 2 principles have the answer. Here's the key. Adults are all about applying what they learn right now. They get motivated when they see that a new skill can help them today. And that brings us to this really powerful concept, problem-centered learning. Instead of teaching a bunch of abstract ideas, you build the whole learning experience around solving tangible, real-world problems. This taps directly into their readiness to learn and their need to apply things immediately. And this slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? Memorize the 5 safety rules? That's a total snooze fest. But asking, how would you apply these rules in an emergency? Now that gets your brain firing. It forces you to build a bridge between the information and a real-life scenario. And that bridge is what makes learning stick. It changes information from an abstract fact into a practical tool. Now, let's talk about the final pillar. And honestly, this one might be the most powerful of all. We've made our learning relevant, we've made it problem-centered, but what's the fuel that truly makes the engine go? What gets someone to not just complete the training, but to actually master it? It all comes down to their internal drive, their intrinsic motivation. Sure, things like grades or getting a certificate are fine. Those are external rewards. But what really truly gets us going, it's the internal stuff. It's asking ourselves, will this help me get better at my job? Or will this make me feel more confident? And maybe the biggest one of all, is this going to save me time and make my life easier? Those are the questions that light a fire in an adult learner. I mean, just look at this statement. This is a complete game changer. Imagine starting a training session with this. You're not just telling them to learn something. You're offering them a direct, personal payoff. You are speaking the language of efficiency, of self-improvement. And that is how you make someone want to learn. Okay, so that's all the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Let's put these principles to the test right now. We're going to do a quick andragogy audit on a super common, super frustrating problem. So, picture this. You've just poured weeks of your life into creating a new course. You launch it, and the feedback starts trickling in. But you start to notice a pattern. One complaint keeps showing up, over and over again. Ouch. Yeah, that one hurts. It feels like a punch in the gut after all that work. But what if I told you this complaint isn't just an insult? It's a clue, a really, really specific clue that tells you exactly what's wrong. See? The solution was hiding in plain sight the whole time. That feedback is a giant, flashing neon sign that you completely missed the first, most important principle, the need to know. The learner has no idea why this training matters to them, so of course it feels like a waste of time. And this isn't just a small fix. Getting this one thing right can have a massive impact. Research shows that just by clearly answering that "what's in it for me" question right up front, you can boost learner engagement by as much as 40%. 40! That's a huge win from applying just one of these ideas. So here's your challenge. Take whatever project you're working on right now, today, and apply just one of these principles. My advice? Start with the need to know. Make the why so obvious, so compelling, that your learners can't possibly miss it. You know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to one simple shift in thinking. Are we just building something to check a box on a to-do list, something to clear out of an inbox? Or are we creating a genuine experience that connects with and respects the adult brain? So just remember this: build for the brain, not the inbox. That's how you create learning that lasts.